Welcome to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I am joined today by Phil Capriotti. He is the CEO and founder of Senior Tax and Insurance Advisors and Donato Wealth Management. You're not a senior. You
Yes,
look great.
ma'am. Yes, I'm a senior too. I'm a baby boomer. So that's it. Yep, I'm a baby boomer. So it's a pleasure to be here as always, and thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate our dialogue and our conversations. This show was fantastic.
Oh, Phil,
We've gotten so many calls, especially from last week's show. So let's jump right in. What would you like to talk about today?
So definitely. So with last week's show, obviously, we spoke quite a bit about COVID-19 and just the global pandemic, how that's changed the trajectory of retirement, if you will, and how your clients have had peace of mind because you've been able to help them navigate through it. So I wanted to ask you, Phil, jumping right in there, what about managing drawdown? Can you talk about what that is to the viewing audience?
God, that's a great topic.
Drawdown?
Okay, so I'm glad that you asked. So back around 2010, we started managing portfolios and managing what we call drawdown. So what is that? Every individual has a certain risk tolerance. So when a client comes into our office, they want to know, how will you manage my investments differently than my current advisor? What makes you so special? Why should I change, or why should I add you to our investment advisory team? So we specialize in managing drawdown. So let me explain what that is. Each individual has a certain tolerance for risk. So for instance, over the last 30 days through the end of February and March, because of the COVID-19, we saw the market, the S&P drop 31%. That happened within right around a 30-day period. Well, so depending on a person's drawdown or risk level, they may have lost 20%, they may have lost 25%, they may have lost 5 or 7. So this is drawdown. So what drawdown does is it allows your investment advisory team, your team of fiduciaries, to actively manage your portfolio to put layers of risk on during favorable conditions and take layers of risk off during a pandemic or unfavorable conditions. So we want to take a look at current business cycle. We want to even look at legislative cycles. We want to take a look at election cycles. We want to look at a lot of different variables based on current events. So just to expound on that, through the month of February and March, because of the COVID-19, our algorithm, which runs 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, letting us know what's going on, where's money moving in and out of, recommended that we make 3 separate portfolio landscape changes. We literally made 3 changes within a 3-week period. Now, subsequently, our goal is we really want our clients to receive about 70 to 75% of the market's growth, but really no more than 5 to 7%, sometimes less than 5 of the market's losses. So this is active or tactical asset management. And we started running with this. We no longer throw darts at it, okay? This is strategic. It's run by supercomputers. It's run by a proprietary algorithm that continues to improve and grow. So many folks in retirement are concerned. When we take a look at taking distributions, or we start to move towards distribution planning, we want to look at market volatility. How much is a quote-unquote market correction going to cost my portfolio? How much drawdown is in my portfolio? So we'll sit and counsel an individual about drawdown and how we will mitigate drawdown to maximize returns. So I'll give you an example. Let's assume for a moment you have $1 million. And let's assume for a moment a pandemic or some other global occurrence happens that causes a major adjustment or correction
Okay.
in the market. Let's say you have $1 million, and let's say that market adjustment, like 2001 and 2002, drops 50% in a 2-year period. Well, that $1 million now is $500,000. So if my portfolio loses 50% from $1 million to $500,000, I need to make 100% to get back to the $1 million. So we need to take a look at that. We need to minimize drawdowns. So if a potential client or a viewer's portfolio lost 30%, we may need to make 40 or 45% or more to get back even. So what happens many times is if we're not managing drawdown, if we're not actively managing risk, when the market does hit a trough, we're spending the entire growth cycle just getting back to even as opposed to growing from an elevated position. So managing drawdown as part of an actively managed portfolio, especially in retirement during distribution planning, is, in my professional opinion, imperative.
Thank you, Phil. Can you explain to the viewing audience what a Morningstar report is that you run?
Oh, lovely. You're full of great questions today. So if you're familiar with Consumer Reports, right? Consumer Reports rates all of our products and services, and it gives it a rating. It may be a 1-star rating, or Morningstar uses stars, or a 5-star rating.
Okay.
Okay, what Morningstar does, and the reason we run a professional Morningstar report, and it is, I don't run them, we have our CMAs, our Certified Investment Management Analyst, our analysts run them.
Okay.
That's all they do, they're bean counters. They run these Morningstar reports for our potential clients. What a Morningstar report does is it measures 3 primary priorities. Okay, just in broad strokes. Return. How much will my portfolio return? What did it return over the last year? What has it returned over the last 3 years, over the last 5 years? How about the last 10? What's my average return been over a specific period of time? That's number one. Number two, we want to take a look at what happened in 2008. What happened in 2001, 2002 to my portfolio as it sits today? How much volatility, how much did I lose or would I have lost, okay? So it measures risk or drawdown. Risk and drawdown, they really work together. And then the second or the third thing that Morningstar report does, along with our executive summary, is it measures fees. We want to look at internal fees. How much is that ETF or that mutual fund costing me to get into it? And then what are the external fees? How much are my management fees? So it takes a look at measuring return, risk, and fees. Why is that important? When we structure a client's retirement income plan, it's extremely important that we include those variables into their retirement income plan, because we want to make sure that it fits into our client's risk tolerance and suitability. I want to make sure that I'm managing this client's portfolio and their taxes the way they want us to manage it. I want to make sure that I'm managing it as a fiduciary, a licensed fiduciary, and I'm keeping my client's best interest in mind at all times. So this is why we run the Morningstar report, as well as an executive summary. An executive summary is a critique of their portfolio.
Oh, Phil, I think you want to hold that thought. We're going to have to go to a commercial break. To the viewing audience at home, if they're calling in today, what can they expect to receive?
They can expect to receive a complimentary, comprehensive Morningstar report and executive summary. They'll not only receive it, but it'll be fully explained as well, and to determine how it fits into their retirement income plan. Call 888-818-6557. Again, that's 888-818-6557, and we'll be happy to accommodate you with this complimentary review.
Thank you, Phil. To the viewing audience at home, that number once again to call is 888-818-6557. We're going to be right back after this very short commercial break with more questions and answers about planning your perfect retirement. Stay tuned.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have, by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
And welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I am joined today by Phil Capriotti. He is the CEO and founder of Senior Tax and Insurance Advisors and Donato Wealth Management. I'm not sure why I keep tripping on that this morning.
It's okay. We're going to get it right. It's all good. Most of the viewing audience probably already Googled me, and they already understand we've been in business for over 15 years, and what we specialize in distribution planning and tax planning, as opposed to many other financial advisors. So, but that's okay. We'll eventually get it. It's all good. It's all good. You're perfect.
Thank you, Phil. You do a little bit of everything. I mean, you truly encompass such a holistic approach to the retirement planning, to financial planning, to investments. I mean, truly, it is the whole gamut that you're able to run.
We truly do a lot of everything. We have a comprehensive tax office. So I have licensed tax specialists right here in our office. So we have a very robust tax practice. We have been working with clients to help them structure their Roth conversion strategies for the last 10 years. In 2010, both sides of the aisle agreed on lifting the income limits, age limits, and requirements to be working for an individual to take money from their IRA and convert it to a Roth IRA. And we'll get into that later on in the show about why that's so important. So having the tax team in our office, as well as a team of fiduciaries, we surround our client with a team of fiduciaries. We want to make sure that I'm not the only one looking at this portfolio. So we have certified investment management analysts that we depend on in our home office. We have tax professionals, CPAs, attorneys to do wills and trusts. I was a firm believer when I started this company in 2005 that an individual need only come to our office to receive expert advice in all areas with respect to their retirement income planning. So this is the way we have structured it, and our clients love it, absolutely love not having to go to 3 different shops, one for taxes, one for an attorney, one for their investment advisor.
Well, it definitely makes it so much easier for them having it be the one-stop shopping. You know, for the viewing audience at home that maybe is interviewing different financial advisors, retirement planners, if you will, what are some top questions that they should be asking the people that they are considering working with?
Okay, so understand, when you are working with a financial advisor and you're getting close to retirement, you really need to look at switching your goals.
Okay.
You need to start focusing on distribution planning.
Okay.
While we're working, we're saving money, we're putting money into retirement plans, we're in an accumulation mode.
Sure.
So you'll hear a lot of advisors say, don't worry that the market dropped 30%, your portfolio only lost 25%, thinking out loud. it'll eventually come back. Well, that's more the mindset of someone who's in it for, yes, we're in it for the long haul, but distribution planning is, now that I'm close to retirement, I can't have the market taking money out of my portfolio because I am physically taking distributions each month to supplement my Social Security and or my pension to reach my goal retirement income. So you want to look at a distribution specialist. So that's number one. There are a list of questions that you should ask any financial advisor, especially your own financial advisor, to determine whether they're qualified to give you accurate or comprehensive distribution advice. So the first thing is, what books have you read on the topics of distribution? Okay, so that's number one. What current classes, what current tax laws? How do you stay current on the tax laws that are passed that affect my IRA? What organizations do you belong to that keep you current?
Good one.
Okay. Do you keep current? Do you have a tax professional on hand? Do you provide tax planning, favorable tax planning? Do you provide active asset management so you can manage my risk when the market starts to, like after this COVID-19 or during it, we're seeing extreme volatility in the market.
Sure.
So we want to take a look at asking, we have a whole list of 10 different questions as an Ed Slott IRA advisor that we tell clients to ask their advisor.
Okay.
And if that advisor is giving you the deer in the headlight look, if they're not really sure how to answer it, chances are they're not specializing in distribution planning. Understand, once you retire, you're no longer working. Whatever you've accumulated for your retirement has to go to the distance. It has to last you 20, maybe 30 years,
Sure.
maybe even longer. So you want a distribution specialist. What does that mean? I want to minimize retirement, taxes in my retirement each and every year. I want that plan reviewed at least twice a year. This is why I want my advisor to stay current. I want you to actively manage my portfolio. When we see something like this, or God forbid a 9/11, or any major event that will have a negative effect on the market and hence my portfolio, how are you going to react to it? How do you protect me? So these are questions that are really important to ask, and if you're and a good distribution specialist will know the answers, and you'll know that they know the answer.
And especially talking more about just how it can change even the tax bracket that you're in, Phil, correct? Because if you start taking your RMDs, your required minimum distributions, it can actually change where you are. Is that correct?
What most folks don't realize, and when our existing clients, of course, and even new clients, we structure a retirement income plan every single year we update it. Why? Well, RMDs you mentioned. When we have to take required minimum distributions, now this new Secure Act that just came in near the end of the year, it raised the RMD age from 70.5 to 72. When we take a look at RMDs, most folks don't realize that as they get older, they are forced to take a larger percentage of their increasing retirement account, their IRAs, 403Bs, 401Ks. Because their life expectancy is decreasing. Many times these RMDs will significantly increase each year, which will cause them to move into a higher tax bracket. It can cause their Social Security to be taxed in a much less favorable way. It can cause their Part B Medicare premiums and Part D Medicare premiums to go up because of these distributions. So a distribution specialist will structure a retirement income plan that takes a look at not just maximizing Social Security, but minimizing the taxes on Social Security, and it'll have a standalone RMD distribution plan. And this is where that Morningstar report comes in. That Morningstar report tells us what we can expect our portfolio, or how we can expect it to perform.
Sure.
What are the fees? What is the drawdown? How does that equate to my overall retirement income plan?
So truly it is the entire picture, Phil, that you're looking at. And we're getting the light that we have to go to a break soon. So can you tell the viewing audience, once we open up those phone lines and they start calling in, what can they expect to receive
When you
today?
call the office, when you call in 888-818-6557, if you have not taken Social Security, we will structure a complimentary Social Security maximization report, and we will teach you what's the best strategy based on the information you give us. We'll also provide you with a retirement income plan, a written tax-efficient plan, and along with that written retirement income plan will be an RMD, a required minimum distribution report, and of course, it's a must. A Morningstar report should be performed on your portfolio, we believe, each and every year. You have to look at that risk tolerance. If you've seen through the course of late February and March that your portfolio had significant drawdown or losses, call that number, get into our office, let us run that Morningstar report and executive summary. We'll be happy to do it complimentary.
Thank you, Phil. To the viewing audience at home, we do have to take a quick commercial break. That number to call once again is 888-818-6557. We know the phone lines are busy, so please be patient. We promise to answer. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
And welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm sitting today with Phil Capriati. He is the founder and CEO of Senior Tax and Insurance Advisors, as well as Donato Wealth Management.
Well done.
Yay! Got it out that time without stumbling. So, Phil, the phone lines were lighting up, and we did actually glean a viewer question. So it actually is a great one, I think. He's asking, Phil, I'm about 10 years away from retirement. What is the most important thing that I should be doing right now to make sure that I am comfortable?
That's a great question. Okay, so there's a couple different, it depends on the viewer's situation.
Okay.
If this would be my advice to this viewer, if they have been, saving in a 401k, setting money aside in a traditional 401k, depending on how much is in that 401k, they may start wanting to think of switching it to a Roth 401k.
Okay.
Now, here's why I say that. We just passed $25 trillion in debt. This pandemic has caused excessive borrowing and spending, and we get it. We understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost caused a complete economic collapse. So we depend on our government to help. Okay. This money still has to be paid back. So right now we are in probably the lowest or most favorable tax treatment or bracket that we've seen in decades. During World War I, taxes went up to over 70%. After World War II, and they're telling us this is a war, taxes went up over 91%, the top tax rate. Most folks are concerned with taxes going up in the future to pay off the debt. So One of the best things that an individual can do is have 3 types of retirement accounts. Don't forget your own personal tax-free Roth retirement account.
Okay.
We have an opportunity to contribute to a Roth 401k. Very, very rare that a company does not offer the Roth option. Now, with that Roth 401k, we can get to put in excess of $20,000 away tax-free. So how does that work? Okay, we pay the taxes once. So the money goes into the Roth 401k or the Roth IRA, but there is no income limit with the 401k. I pay the taxes once. There are no RMDs, no requirement minimum distributions when we have to take that money out or want to take that money out. That money gets to grow tax-free regardless of what tax rate they increase. They raise our top tax rate to. So we want to take a look at starting to contribute to the Roth 401k to hedge against future increases in taxes. I think one of the most devastating repercussions of all of this spending and this 25 or so trillion in debt is just going to continue to grow, and it's eventually going to have to be paid back. And taxpayers, folks who have saved, especially in these government taxable retirement accounts, these retirement accounts that were tax deferred, they're going to be forced to pay taxes on distributions based on whatever that current tax rate is. And we fear that that tax rate could possibly be incredible. Instead of 22, 24, 32%, it could easily be doubled. A 22% tax rate can easily go to a 40% tax rate. They're talking about it now. A 24% tax rate can easily go to a 45%. So be cognizant of saving tax efficiently. If you have 10 years to unwind this, let's start thinking of taxes and taxes in retirement.
Well, Phil, the viewing audience at home, I know that they are just listening to every word that you say because you always share so much knowledge and you just give it so freely. But I know that they are going to be wondering, what can they get today when they are calling that telephone number? Can you tell them one more time?
Yes, the phone number to call for your complimentary retirement income, tax-efficient retirement income plan is 888-818-6557. So that's 888-818-6557. We look forward to meeting you folks in the office. This offer is completely confidential and complimentary, and we look forward to helping you structure a tax-efficient retirement income plan.
To our viewing audience at home, we've come to the close of another show. We look forward to seeing you again next week. That number again is 888-818-6557. We hope you have a blessed week, and we'll see you next weekend. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you.